up, everyone? Remember me? It's been, gosh, I think it's been almost a year since I've actually done a vlog like this. It's been a very long time. But I sort of been purposely staying off of the camera, and I'll explain why later. But I am back, and I am here doing a 2020 vlog for you guys, talking about the updates coming to the channel, some cool things I did over the holidays, well, I guess cool things I didn't do over the holidays, and talk about, you know, my goals and whatnot, and what I've accomplished over this past year. So, hope you guys are ready. I just want to forewarn everyone, this is going to be a long one, alright? I haven't done a vlog like this in a very long time, so I'm sort of out of the... I have to get back to, like, my roots of doing these. I hope I do okay. But on top of that, you know, there's just a lot to talk about. Like I said, I haven't done an update video in, like, a very, very long time. I think it's been... I'm pretty sure it's been over 6 months. But it might be closer to a year, so I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked at my past videos, but yeah, pretty cool. Let's just get right into it, okay? So, I plan to come back actually earlier this month, and I was gonna make a video about a week and a half ago, but I was actually stuck home sick, and this is what I've been up to for the past 3 weeks. I've just been dealing with just terrible sickness. And, you know, it all sort of started around Christmas time. It was Christmas Eve. I was seeing Star Wars, and I started getting, like, really... Like, I felt weird, you know, in the theater. Like, my stomach felt unsettled. Something wasn't right, you know? And so I saw the movie, and then we went to dinner, and I was, you know, I didn't have, like, an appetite at all. It was weird, you know? This is one of my favorite Italian restaurants my parents and, you know, my whole family was at. And, you know, I didn't have this appetite for anything, you know. I just, something felt, you know, odd, like something felt off. And, you know, I ended up, like, not eating anything pretty much. I just, you know, something, like I said, it was really weird. It was a really weird feeling. And I actually had to leave the restaurant early. And so I left the restaurant, I went home. My dad luckily drove me back to his house. And I pretty much about half an hour later, I was puking my guts out. And so what happened was I was actually hit with a very bad case of food poisoning. And I was stuck for basically 2 days doing nothing but in bed and literally just puking up everything. I mean, I couldn't even... It got so bad to the point where I was thirsty, right? I was, like, very dehydrated. I drank water, but I would just puke the water back up. Like, I couldn't even keep basic fluids down, and it really sucked, because it's like, imagine being like super dehydrated, right? Like, you're very thirsty and you just want a glass of water, but you can't keep any of that down. It was absolutely terrible. I'd never had food poisoning before, so this was the first time of me going through that, and man, that was... Of all the times that I've been sick, and it's very rare for me to get sick, you know, I'm one of those guys who I get sick like once a year, right, at like the most, but usually when I'm sick, it usually lasts for like a week plus, you know, it's just one of those things, but I'm usually, you know, perfectly fine most of the time. It's just like that one time during the year where I get super sick, and so, you know, I just felt terrible. I never had food poisoning before, but it was the worst I have ever felt in my entire life, and it literally was death. And it sucks because I couldn't eat like basic stuff, like even soup. You know, I couldn't even keep down. I couldn't keep down water, and I was stuck in bed. I couldn't walk around the house or do anything. I was literally in bed for about 2 days straight. And so it was really kind of unfortunate. The only thing I was thankful of is that I was actually on a 2-week vacation from work. I had all this holiday time, and my company's policy is sort of a use it or lose it. So it doesn't stack when the new year comes. So I had 2 weeks off pretty much during the Christmas holidays. You know, so if I was gonna get sick, at least it was during that time. You know, I wasn't like losing money or anything. It's paid vacation holidays, but it just sucks, man. That was my Christmas, was me basically in bed puking my guts out, and it really sucks. Again, I never felt that bad before in my entire life. And so, you know, it took me 3 days, and I started, like, getting my energy back, but I was still, like, very weak. Like, I couldn't lift basic things. I just felt, you know, I was slow, you know, and so I really had to take it easy, and it wasn't until almost a week later that I actually felt somewhat better. And so as I started getting back, you know, my energy started coming back. I was fine for about 3 or 4 days, and then what happens is I start getting hit with a cold. And so I wake up with a sore throat now, and I got, you know, congestion going on. And it was basically a week and a half of me dealing with a cold now. I guess what happened was my immune system was probably super weak from dealing with the food poisoning, right? And so I must have just caught a cold because, you know, I don't know, the weather or just someone else. I wasn't really around anybody who was sick, you know, but I was going back to work, I guess. But there's only, you know, a handful of people there. So no one was really sick, but I caught a cold somehow, and this is what I've been dealing with for the past week and a half. I just a couple days ago, I started feeling better. I'm still waking up, and, you know, I'm still sneezing like crazy, and I still have to blow my nose constantly, but it's like my energy's back now, and I actually, you know, I feel generally fine, all right? I guess it's just exiting through my system. So that's what I've been up to for the past 3 weeks. I really wanted to do this video, you know, like I said, like a week and a half ago, but I was just feeling too bad. So I thank you guys for your patience and, you know, your understanding. I've been keeping you guys updated in the loop on Twitter, as well as the YouTube community posts. You know, I've been posting up some things. So I appreciate the patience from you guys, but I am back now. So hopefully I will be fine going forward. And there's a lot to talk about. Like I said, this is going to be a big video. So yeah, just kind of been a rough past couple of weeks, but getting back to it. So yeah, other than that, I just sort of been dealing with work, and you know, it's pretty cool. I've been working at my job for over a year now, and generally what I've been doing is pretty much after, when it hits the year mark for my job, I usually been looking for new jobs. This is like the first job that I've had where I've actually really like it to the point where it's like, okay, you know, I don't know if I don't have a drive to go get something else. You know, it's like, this is a great environment, I'm making good money, there is potential growth options here. And so for me, it's just, you know, I feel very fortunate and privileged to be in such a position, especially at my age, you know, because you know, when you're older, it's like, okay, you have all this experience and you build up to a certain thing, right? But at my age, it's like a lot of people just sort of jump in different places, and it's like, okay, do you like this? If you don't like this, jump over here. If you don't like that, jump over there. You know, so I feel very, very fortunate to have a job where it's like, okay, I can definitively say I enjoy what I do. I love the environment. My boss is super easy and flexible. I'm working from home today. You know, like I'm still like, you know, I'm not losing time at all. You know, I'm still getting paid, but I'm working from home today. Just because I was supposed to have some people come over. There was some leaks in the house from like the rain and whatnot. I think we have some termite damage and whatnot. So we were supposed to have some people come over and fix some things, but they canceled today. So I'm still stuck at home. My boss says, no, you can, you know, work from home. It's completely fine, which is great because I wanted to do this vlog in natural daylight. You know, it just kind of sucks because we're at daylight savings time. It gets dark at 5 o'clock, right? And so I get home generally around that time. And, you know, just videos with natural daylight look a hell of a lot better than videos with, you know, your light bulbs and whatnot. So I'm really happy that I'm able to do this video. Working from home, it's very easygoing. It's Monday that I'm recording this, but I looked at my emails. I didn't get too many today, so it's generally perfectly fine. So I'm actually doing quite well. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to this year. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my theme this year, as well as my goals this year and stuff that I'm focusing on. It's going to be more business related this year than it was the previous year. But that is all because there's a plan. I'm working towards something. So I'm going to explain that to you guys later. So yeah, you know, other than that, I spent my 2-week holiday vacation just sort of catching up on some video games. I played through Devil May Cry 4 and DMC on the Xbox 360. I think I have those games. Yeah, here we go. So I played through Devil May Cry 4 on the 360, which I never played before, and I also played DMC as well, which, again, I never played before. So I actually enjoyed both of these games, but the reason I went back to them, or I went back to go play them rather, is because I played Devil May Cry 5. So I really enjoyed that game, and you know, I wanted before I played that game, I wanted to sort of get an idea of where the series came from. So I was like, okay, well, I have Devil May Cry 4 in my collection, and then I have DMC, and I know this game's not canon, and fans don't like this one, but I'll be completely honest with you guys. I mean, like, you know, this game was actually a lot of fun too, but I was really pleasantly surprised about the narrative in this one, and the combat was a lot of fun. The only thing is, I will say, I did like this game's environments and world a lot better. This game, like, just constantly pulls you in this, it's like this dream world almost. They call it limbo, where everything's just kind of, you know, messed around and distorted and everything. So it's like every single level that you're in, you're stuck in like limbo, and there's some really cool level design, some really excellent boss fights. But, you know, there's also some beautiful environments as well in Devil May Cry 4. And this game's old, you know, it's like, what, 2008, I think? So it's like, you know, 12 years old at this point, just about. And it still looks good, you know, it ran 60 frames per second. And I know that they remastered this, but I only had... I bought the original copy before the remaster came out, right? And so I just never played it. So I was like, okay, I don't want to spend more money on the remastered. I might as well just play the original version. And so I played both of those games, had a good time, and then played Devil May Cry 5, which was very enjoyable. And then, after that, I played Metro Redux. And I never beat Metro 2033, right? But I did play Last Light, and I loved Last Light. I didn't like the original 2033. It really just kind of irritated me, and I think I did a video a very long time ago of me just kind of getting scared about the, they call them the Watchmen, those little dog monster things. And so, you know, I didn't... The original Metro 2033 just has really kind of crappy mechanics, in my opinion. Like, the whole game just feels janky, right? But they fixed everything in Last Light. So I played the Redux for the first time on PS4, which basically takes 2033 and gives you the gameplay of Last Light. So you can stealth through environments and do things like that. And I really enjoyed that. And so currently, right now, I'm actually playing Metro Exodus, which I really am enjoying. And that game is... I'm about halfway through the game at this point, but I can tell you already that that game is easily one of the best games I played this entire generation. It's freaking fantastic. And also, on top of that, I actually went back and played Fallout New Vegas. Now, this was a game that I actually played originally when it came out, and I think I even did an unboxing video of this game when it came out, right? But I never beat the game, and I actually don't like this game as much compared to Fallout 3. That was my original opinion on it, was like, okay, I just don't like this game as much as Fallout 3. And I think the reason was, I mean, this game takes on a more Western type of cowboy vibe than Fallout 3 is a little bit more science fiction. I'm not saying that this one isn't. It very much is sci-fi, but it's sort of like a sci-fi Western, whereas like Fallout 3 was sort of a sci-fi horror. Or suspense or thriller, you know, that was just a much... I like the tonality of Fallout 3 a lot more than Fallout New Vegas. But I went back and played it because I wanted to start The Outer Worlds, you know, that's my next game to play on PC, and so I spent, during the time I was sick this past week, I actually spent, you know, my time in Fallout New Vegas, and surprisingly beat the game rather quickly. I only beat it in like 15 hours or so. Which I expected to be spending a lot more time in it, but I mean, I was doing side missions, and you know, I was exploring, but you know, I wasn't like going crazy. I wasn't trying to collect every single collectible, but yeah, I beat it rather quickly. So it was nice to finally beat the game. It's like, okay, fine, that's off my mind now. As I finally beat Fallout New Vegas, which I quit on it very early on when I first played the game, but my opinion on it still stands. I still think that it's a good game, but I still liked Fallout 3 more than this game. So yeah, at least I was able to beat it, get the achievements, and then, you know, finally, you know, just experience the full game. And the story's pretty cool. I would say if they did make a Fallout movie, I would actually prefer them to use this story more so than Fallout 3. It's a different tone with the story, and I actually played the game a little bit differently because of that tone. But it's still, it's pretty cool. There were a lot of crashes, though, I have to say, is that even with all the patches and stuff, I probably suffered around 15 crashes. And these were hard crashes that required me to reset my console. So I installed it to the hard drive and everything. So I don't know. It's just not technically, I guess, that polished. So as I said, I'm gonna actually start the Outer Worlds next. I'm actually planning to start it today, I think, if not tomorrow. And that is the current game I'm working on right now when it comes to my PC games. And then I got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I also I'm going to start after I beat the Outer Worlds. And then pretty much nothing is coming out. This is what I really like. You know, we're winding down this current generation, so games are starting to slow down in terms of their release. But I actually really like this because, you know, it allows me to have time to actually catch up from my backlog, you know. And I'm still pretty far behind when it comes to the console games, but on PC, I'm pretty much caught up. I have The Outer Worlds, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and then that's it. And I think the next PC game I am getting is Doom Eternal. I may get that on consoles, though, depending on how well it runs and, you know, whether or not, how well I can run it, I guess. Yeah, it's cool. I'm going to be finally caught up on my PC with my backlog, which is great. And like I said, I'm still working on my console games. I'm sort of stuck in the beginning of 2019 right now when it comes to my backlog. So I'm working on Metro Exodus right now. I beat Devil May Cry 5. You know, depending on what people vote for, I still have Crackdown 3 and Days Gone, Mortal Kombat 11, Judgments, and Call of Duty, all these games that released over the course of the year. But 2019 was actually a slow year for releases. And 2020 is even slower, it looks like. I mean, we still don't have releases for any games beyond May, which is great. You know, I'm actually kind of happy about this because, again, it gives me an opportunity to catch up on my backlog. And it would be great to at least get very, very close in terms of my backlog, very close to you know, the current games that are releasing today by the time the new consoles are coming out. And so what's really cool as well is that, you know, it's pretty much all but confirmed that the Series X and the PlayStation 5 will actually be backwards compatible with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And so it's going to be great because I can still play those backlogged games on the newer consoles with probably even better performance, I'm thinking. So that'd be really freaking cool, and I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully that's the case. But yeah, I've just been trying to get through my backlog, and you know, I have been enjoying my time with everything. You know, you guys know me. I like to take my time and really explore the game, and you know, really, I don't want to force my way through it, or I don't want to feel like I'm rushing through it. You know, if I'm going to sit down and play something, I'm going to really sit down and play it. And so I'm just working through some games, and hopefully with the slower releases coming up, it'll be great to finally catch up and hopefully get to where I guess you guys are, if you guys don't have a backlog, which is now you're waiting for, I think Final Fantasy VII is the next game that's coming out, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then that's pretty much, that's not till March, so there's a lot of time. So pretty cool. All right. I did get some pickups, but I want to get to those later, all right? Let's talk about the 2019 goals, all right? What I've accomplished last year. Now, you guys know, and this is the reason why I stayed off camera, I dubbed the theme last year the Year of Health. And this was really, I would say I was always going to do this. It was just a matter of when. But you guys in my 2018 video, where it was my 10-year anniversary video I did in 2018, that was when you guys were, you know, I guess where people were finally starting to be like, hey, dude, are you okay? You've gotten pretty heavy. So I have, you know, I made 2019 really the theme of it to get back in shape and to really lose weight and whatnot. I hope perceptively I look thinner to you guys. I will get down to the nitty-gritty and the specs about exactly what I've lost up to this point and what I've done. And I'll be completely honest and transparent with you guys and everything about that as well. You know, but that was basically my main goal this year, was actually getting back in shape, and or at least just losing weight. And I had a goal. My overall goal was to get to 180 pounds. I didn't get to that point. And really, I could have gone there, I guess, if I worked harder, but I was starting off from basically this mindset of, you know, okay, I didn't give my full 100% into it, right? I wasn't like really, I wasn't really pushing myself to, like, you know, really put in all this effort. And I basically didn't get started until February. And all I did from February up until around June, I think it was around E3 time, all I literally did was just run for about 2 miles every single day. I did it for, well, Monday through Thursday, right? That's what I did. That's what I did. I was just running basically for 2 miles. And I wasn't you know, doing push-ups or doing weights or doing anything. And so what happened is actually, just for reference, in my 10-year anniversary video, I weighed myself after I did that video, and I distinctly remember it saying 227. All right, 227. I was pretty heavy. And, you know, I'm 5'10", so it's just, I'm not really that tall, so it's all just sort of round, you know. And I basically started out working out in February, where I was just sort of running. I wasn't really working out. I was just like, okay, moving. I was at least being somewhat active, right? But I wasn't really doing anything. And I was thinking to myself, because, you know, I in 2014, was it? Years ago, you know, where I was like super thin, it might have actually been 2012 now that I'm thinking about it. All I did was actually run about 1.5 miles every single day to actually get that thin. But I never built actual muscle structure, right? So I was just sitting there and I was like super skinny, right? But I was like, I had no muscles or strength really, you know, I was just thin. And so, you know, it's just a matter of circumstance when I was getting older, you know, and okay, my job now, I'm sitting down at a desk, I'm, you know, on the computer, so I'm not really being active, and then I'm coming home and I'm sitting down some more on the computer, playing video games or whatnot. So it was just a matter of me just sort of sitting around doing nothing, you know, and my diet isn't that bad. For those of you guys, you know, who don't know me, I don't snack at all. Like, I don't snack whatsoever. I only eat meals, and I really only have 2 meals a day. I have lunch and dinner, and then that's it. I don't ever snack, you know, in between meals whatsoever, and I don't really eat that large of portions, you know, and so I think at my last job I was really eating fast food a lot because, you know, I just wanted to sort of feel good. You know, it was sort of just me compensating for not really enjoying my job. And like I said, the environment was really toxic there, so it was kind of like a letdown. But when I got my new job, I stopped actually going out to fast food because, and I'm really fortunate, the building that we work with has its own cafe area where you can actually order like freshly cut sandwiches. You know, it's not packaged or anything. They actually cut the meat right there for you. It's almost like a deli at a supermarket. It's crazy. And so, you know, I don't even like leave the office that much anymore. I'll just go out and go downstairs to the cafeteria, and then, you know, just get some sandwiches or get a salad or just get something. And so, you know, I think that helped a lot, was just me not going to fast food anymore. And generally right now I probably go to fast food maybe once every 2 weeks. You know, once every 2-3 weeks. It's really not that often. It's pretty rare. So yeah, it was 227 back when I did that video. So it's pretty interesting. If you go back and watch that video, I'm sure I'll just look a lot rounder than general. You can see my whole face was a lot fatter as well. But I didn't really start getting heavily into actually doing stuff until July. It was after E3. And I got really annoyed because when I was actually, you know, just running for basically 4 or 5 months, what actually happened was I went from 227 to like 220, you know, so like I lost some weight, but it was barely anything. And to be completely honest with you guys, I was getting super annoyed because I wasn't seeing results, right? And of course I wasn't seeing results. I wasn't doing anything. And so, you know, it was around July where I actually just got really annoyed. It was after E3, and I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm tired of just being stagnant. I'm sitting here at 220, you know, for the past like 3-4 weeks, you know, not losing a single thing. I got to put in more effort. And so I started doing this program. It was like a 22-week program that I did. And I completed that, and I started actually building out muscle strength, and I was doing a lot of push-ups, I was doing some squats, and then I was doing, you know, some sit-ups. It was like it was you know, abs, legs, and arms and everything like that. But I didn't sacrifice my cardio at all. I was still running the 2 miles, and that's what I basically have been doing now for almost a year. I haven't ever stopped running. You know, I still been doing that cardio as sort of a pre-workout, a preparation into the main workout, right? And so when I started doing that course, and after I got done with that program, I started going down to like around 212, you know? So this new program that I started, which I've actually been really enjoying, it's sort of a upper body strength as well as abs. It's more geared towards that. That's the focus of it. Because my legs and my thighs are exactly where I want them to be. You know, I wasn't after, I said this in the 2019 video, but I wasn't never after this, you know, bulky look. I never wanted to, like, you know, freaking be like The Rock or, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. You know, I didn't want that look at all. You know, I didn't want the bulky look. I just wanted tone and definition. And so I've been doing this program for a good, gosh, I want to say since November. So it is still fairly new. But I've really been enjoying it, and it's been pretty cool. But I've really been enjoying it. It's been super awesome. And, you know, now, since I've been doing it, and again, I've been doing my cardio, my current weight is actually 202, I think 202.4. So I'm, like, right at the cusp of just being under 200 pounds. I think in the next 2 weeks, I'll probably hit below that, which would be great, maybe next week or two. So, yeah, you know, essentially from me doing that 10-year anniversary video to now, I have lost just about 25 to 30 pounds, let's just say. But what's nice is that you can actually, you know, again, I've looked at that video I did, and it was like, wow, you know, there's a big perceptible difference, not just in the way I look, but also the way I feel as well. Like, I felt heavy, right? I felt big, and it really sucked, you know, because I was never a large person. I was never used to being overweight. I was always generally like your average build, and then somewhat thin. But, you know, I just felt really bad. I felt like really heavy, you know, and it just sucks because you feel that when you're sleeping, you feel that when you're walking around, and I had like no strength, you know, it's amazing to me, like things that used to be super heavy, you know, are now like, you know, I can do it fine. So it's just great to actually have some I guess, tonality and definition, just some strength, you know, and just to actually not feel like super heavy all the time. So I still have a goal for 180 pounds, don't get me wrong, like I still have that goal, right? And that's what I'm still working towards. But what's nice is that, and this is why I still feel that I've accomplished the goal, even though I didn't hit my weight goal, I have actually now just changed my lifestyle to the point where, all right, I actually have, it's no longer an issue of, okay, I have to create this habit. I have to work out and create this habit. Now it's just like, okay, I'm working out, you know, that's just something I do. It's part of my day-to-day routine. So it's like, finally, you know, it's my current schedule usually is when I come home from work, I'll spend 10-20 minutes, you know, I'll stretch and whatnot, and then I'll start working out. And I usually work out from 5:30 to around 6:30, 6:45, and then I take a shower and I eat after. So it's great, you know, it's now part of my routine, and I've been doing it now for around 6 months or so. I've been honestly really doing it for around 6 months, and I've lost almost 30 pounds at that point. So it's, you know, it's not the results. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, you know, like, oh, I worked super hard, and you know, this is what I've lost, and you know, I did great. I spent the first half of the year, honestly, not doing much of anything, and it was more of an excuse. I went out there to usually, you know, to run, just as a way of saying, yeah, I worked out today, get off my back, you know, rather than actually get results. And now, you know, as it passed my mindset, and I was just getting annoyed at the lack of results showing, you know, and me being stagnant at 220 forever, it's great to finally, you know, I guess, put in that effort for real and actually see that change. I think actually being sick also probably helped me lose a lot of weight in the long run, puking up, you know, and not eating anything for like 2 days. I'm pretty sure that I've lost, that helped me lose like 5 pounds after that. But it's great, you know, and I am actually, I am happy because, again, it's part of my routine. It's a habit now. It's not something like, okay, this is difficult to do because I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. You know, it's now part of my routine, and that's not even a thought anymore. I just go out there and work out and do it, you know. So that's honest to God's truth. That's where I am currently, and that's what I spent the whole year sort of. That was the challenge of the whole year, was just actually doing it for real and changing my lifestyle. And like I said, you know, I've changed my eating habits as well. I'm not eating all that crap anymore. And the stuff that we have at the office building where I work, that cafe, it's good food. You know, it's good, healthy food that's fresh. It's not packaged or any of that shit. I mean, it's really good food, and it's also super cheap too. It's like $7 for like a sandwich, you know, or like $6 for a salad. It's great. So I'm really happy. Again, that I've actually gone past the hurdle of it being, I guess, an annoyance, and now it's just a habit. So that's what I'm most proud of. But I'm still, like, you bet your ass in 2020, I'm still going to be continuing to work out and get to that weight goal. And I'm sure you guys will see in upcoming vlogs and stuff, probably me get slimmer and slimmer. But hopefully in this video, you guys already noticed, okay, his stature, his shape is different than what I saw before. So I'm hoping that that's the case. Great. So yeah, that was the theme for 2019. Let's talk about 2020 here. I was sort of thinking of what to name this year for weeks. I couldn't pick an exact theme, and I actually settled on something about a week ago, and I think it fits very well. So this year is going to be focused again more on business. I really wanted 2020 to be the year where I actually moved out and got my own place. But, you know, the more I think about it, and I could, it's not a question of if I could do it or not. I feel like I could probably do it right now, but the problem is if I did it right now, I would be vastly unprepared. And if I'm going to move out, I'm going to do it correctly. I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to move out and then, you know, have 7 or 8 months later cry back to mommy and daddy because I have financial issues and I really couldn't afford it, and I just did it to get out of the house. And that's the problem that, you know, I have with a lot of people, not just my age but younger too. A lot of people just want to get out of the house, you know, and that's the only thing that they're thinking of. And I really realized that to actually move out and to live on your own, you need to be prepared in 2 ways. Number 1 is financially, obviously. You need to be able to afford shit, right? But number 2 is you need to be prepared mentally and responsibly. And I'm talking about things like, okay, making sure to do your laundry and put laundry away, making sure to do dishes and put dirty dishes away, make sure to make your fucking bed and to clean the fucking house. A lot of people fail to do this, and I see it like all the time with young people who move out. It's like the entire place is trashed. And it really irritates me because I'm just not that person, right? A lot of people make fun of me because they say I'm OCD, right? But you guys generally see my room, like, this is how it looks all the time. Like, you can come in here any day of the week, I guarantee you it will look exactly the same. You know, and that's just my nature, that's my personality. I just like keeping things organized. You know, everything has a place, and nothing is just sort of sitting around, you know, and I have a spot for dirty clothes, and everything's put away and organized. That's just how I am. And so I feel that even though I am prepared, you know, mentally, and I am responsible, I feel enough to actually take on that, I still feel that although I probably could do it financially, I would be just at like the line for like the minimum requirements. Like, I need to make more money in order to feel comfortable, because, you know, it makes no sense to me to move out and to sit there for like a year or so, or whatever the case may be, you know, scraping by when I have a choice not to, you know. And I might as well utilize this time to prepare myself financially and to make more money and to get further along in my career. And then, you know, when I move out, you know, actually do it correctly and get a place. And, you know, this is a place that I worked hard for. This is a place that, this is something I feel like I'm really truly ready for, and that I could do it, and that it's not just me moving out for the sake of moving out and getting out of the house, So there's a lot of things to think about, but my point is that I'm just not ready yet, and I need to make more money. I need to be more financially prepared, and I really need to get further along in my career before this is a decision that I feel I am very comfortable making. And so 2020 is not going to be the year of freedom. I guess I'll call it that. Maybe 2021 will be that. But 2020 instead is going to be the year of resources. And so I'm calling it the year of resources because I really want to focus on, again, getting more revenue streams from different places. One of my goals was always to actually create a source of income that allows me to work anywhere. It's like online based, right? And this is what's really nice about my job is my current job right now is even though we work in an office building, I'm working from home today. I'm not hindered in any way by working from home. Everything I need to do is on the computer, so I can just jump on the computer and check my emails or access, websites and whatnot that I need to access. Everything is online based, so I don't need to be somewhere, which is great. But it is still a job, and my boss still wants us to he wants to create an office culture, so he still wants us to be in the office as much as possible. And so I'm really working this year on two things. Number one is actually working harder at my current job, and the reason is because I really want to prove to my boss that I am capable of sort of being left on my own and being responsible. Because if I can convince him that I can take on all this responsibility and really do well, and I can really handle everything without being there, then he would be much more open to allowing me to work basically remotely from home permanently. And it's great because a lot of people from my company actually do work from home. It's not like I would be the first one. They actually do allow people to work from home at my current company that I work with. But still, it's something I feel I need to earn. I need to earn his respect. I need to earn his trust. And that is something I'm going to be focusing on at my current daytime job, is just taking on more responsibility and probably getting certain certificates and accreditation. I might take some courses online to actually get a certificate that would allow me to really go out there and do stuff on my own. So there's that stuff, and I also want to create another form of online income. And what's really cool is the company that I work with, we work with a lot of online retailers and a lot of just sort of just general people out there who started their own company. And so I'm seeing basically from the ground up some of these people create companies and businesses, and then use our platform, and then they're selling stuff, but these people work from home. They're just a one-man show. So it's like I'm seeing people create this from nothing essentially. So it's really great experience as I spectate literally what they're doing. And for those of you who don't know, I work as a project manager, so my role is basically working closely with these people and ensuring that what they want gets delivered at a timely manner. That's essentially the Cliff Notes version of what I do. And so it's like I get to see all this, and this is just great experience as I'm taking all of this in. It's just spectating people and the decisions that they make in the certain situations that they find themselves in. And so I'm really going to be focusing more on work, and like I said, I want to create an online-based income that's sort of maybe similar to that, which would be great, because then I wouldn't have to be, if push comes to shove, my plan is this, like, okay, hi boss, I'm going to be moving out, but I'm going to be moving out of state. Now, option A would be like, all right, you can work from home. I'll let you work from home. You'll still keep your general pay. We'll just keep in touch. That's perfectly fine. Option B is like, okay, I don't approve of that. But I wish you the best of luck. That's not something I can really, get down with. Which would be okay because then I would have another form of income to replace that. So that is my current plan. That I'm just creating, again, I'm just preparing, I'm just creating options for myself. And it's not, the ultimate end goal is to obviously drive more income in. But I just want to make sure that, if either situation plays out where, okay, I'm going to make the decision to move out of state here in California because it's super expensive, or, okay, I'm able to live perfectly fine where I am right now, which would just take a lot of money, to be completely honest with you guys. But I'm able to be completely fine, and I'm able to live comfortably, and I'm bringing in money and everything like that, then, okay, great, I have other forms of income helping me to live in what is the most expensive state in the United States, and the most expensive county, in the state to boot. So it's just like, I'm just creating options for myself, and I'm just hoping that I know it's going to work out. It's just a matter of making sure that, okay, either way, whatever happens, I'm prepared. So that's really what I'm focusing on this year, and that's why it's called the Year of Resources. And it's just creating these resources and basically allowing myself to create more options and just have more things to do and more areas to draw in money from. So that's basically what I'm working on with this year. So as I said, I got some pickups and some gifts that I want to kind of cover right now. Now, my GameStop is actually closing, the one nearest to me. You guys may remember that this is the same GameStop that I went and did those unboxing videos in 2014, where I actually drove the GameStop and got the game, then came back and unboxed it, right? So that same GameStop is actually closing, which is kind of sad because out of all the GameStops I go to, that one is my favorite, to be completely honest with you guys. It's a big store. They always have stock of like everything. I never had trouble getting anything there. And, the people there are just really nice as well. So I went in there because they're having a 30 to 70% off sale on everything in the store. It just sort of varies. And this includes game consoles, by the way, which I'll tell you guys in a bit. So the games that I'm about to show you guys right now, I paid around $5 each for. But what's really cool is that, the sticker price for these games without this, store closing sale, some of them were like $20, like $20+. So I actually got these games for super cheap, and I'll show it to you guys right now. So there's a lot of stuff here, as you can see, alright? So let's start off with this. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. You guys may remember this from like back in the day. This is Sony's attempt to actually try and copy Super Smash Brothers. Well, I got the game. I think it was $3 or so I paid for this, and it's complete and everything. All these games are complete, which is just fantastic, and the condition is great. So put these over there. Bionic Commando, which is another one I've actually been looking for. I think this one was around $6 or so, but again, complete with the manual and everything. And this is an older game. I'm actually surprised that they have this, and just really really cool to actually finally got this in my collection, which is awesome. Now we got Resident Evil 5, which now I'm missing. I think the only Resident Evil game I'm missing is Resident Evil Revelations that I need to pick up. But a really clean copy of Resident Evil 5. You got, again, complete with the manual and the disc. I got really lucky at this. Like I tell you, this GameStop is really cool. Generally, you wouldn't find games like this that are fully complete, and most of them are shitty condition anyway. So this is really cool. I'm actually happy I was able to pick up the majority of these games. Oh, here's one I've been looking for quite a while. An original copy of Midnight Club Los Angeles. This game's sticker price was $24 or $22, one of those. $6 because the store is closing. Absolutely crazy, and again, fully complete with the map and the manual and everything like that. The disc itself is in beautiful condition. It looks hardly used at all. So I'm just really, again, I'm really thankful. All these games that I found, I was really surprised to find. And this is an original copy with the actual feel, the actual texture on the actual box. So pretty freaking cool. This is a really interesting one. Just Cause 2, right? But sealed. I saw this game was used on the shelf, right? I brought it up to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I think I have this new." he goes into the drawer and takes a sealed copy. It's not a used and then sealed again copy because they have the official Xbox, seal on there. So this game must have been sitting in this guy's drawer for 10 years. Because this game's 10 years old. So it's like, this is a sealed copy of Just Cause 2, $4. $4 for this thing. I mean, I was absolutely surprised. I was in complete shock. I was like, you seriously have a sealed copy of Just Cause 2, a 10-year-old game? And just super surprising. And it's just awesome. So I'm keeping it sealed until I actually go back and play it. This is another game I never beat, but I had a blast in. And this is, to be honest, guys, this is the only Just Cause game you need to play. All the other Just Causes are just the same. And I think they released them Just Cause. So this is the honestly my favorite in the series, and the only one you actually do need to play. It's actually really freaking awesome. So, but freaking sealed for $4. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. And then Halo Combat Evolved, the Anniversary Collection with the sleeve, which I really wanted the sleeve, and this is the original sleeve with the texture and whatnot. Again, super clean version of Halo Combat Evolved. I had the Master Chief Collection, so I didn't need this, but I think I paid like $5 for it. So again, just really cool, and it has the sleeve and everything, so it's really cool for the collection. Oh, here's one. The Godfather, the original Godfather game. This game's sticker price was $20. I picked it up for $6. So, really super excited about this. Again, fully complete with the map and everything. Like, you would think, and I'm always sort of like surprised and well, I'm cautious, I'm really cautious when it comes to purchasing games at GameStop, especially used games, because you never know they don't take care of this stuff generally, and the people don't take care of this stuff generally as well. But this is all, really good, clean copies of games, and they're fully complete and everything like that. And I have Godfather Part 2 already, but I never had the first one. And the first one, again, I think the sticker price was like $20 on this, and the game's like, what, is the game like 14 years old? It's really old, right? What's the year? 2006. So the game's like 14 years old, and to get the game for $6, because the store's closing, is just awesome, and it's fully complete and everything. Like, it literally doesn't get any better than this. Okay, this is another one I was really super surprised about. Full Auto. Really shocked that they actually had this game, because this was one I was actually looking for quite some time. It's a generally clean version of the game. It is fully complete as well. And I think this one was $4. I'm pretty sure this one was $4. The case has some, dirt and grubble on it on the sides, but, I mean, this game is one I've been actually looking for a very long time. It is a very much older game. What's the year? 2005, it says on... Is that really 2005? If it's 15 years old, I'm completely in shock. But, again, they had it, so I picked it up. $4, like I said. Dead Rising 2... now, I had Dead Rising 1. I used to have it in my collection. I got rid of it. And the reason is because I never liked the Dead Rising series. Well, when I played Dead Rising 2, I didn't like it much the first time. So I was like, okay, why do I need to get the first Dead Rising? I might as well just get the second Dead Rising again. So I got rid of the first Dead Rising, and I got the second Dead Rising. I just picked up the second Dead Rising. So I do want to go back to this game eventually and give it another shot, because when I played it originally, that was all the years when it came out, and it was brand new. So I do want to give it another chance to see if I actually do like it, because I know this is a series that a lot of people actually do enjoy. But again, a generally clean copy of the game, fully complete with the manual and the map as well, which is really cool. Awesome. Next up is Call of Juarez Bound in Blood. Now, I know the first one also released on the 360, but I only wanted Bound in Blood, and I have the cartel already. So this is one I've actually been looking for quite some time. I think this one was $4 as well. Fully complete. Very good condition with this one. The original box art's in good condition. The whole game's just in good condition. So really cool to have that. Oh, here's a really cool one. Afro Samurai. Not just Afro Samurai, but the freaking sleeve and everything. And this was really cool. This is, they have a book and everything about this. Again, another game I was actually thinking about going on eBay to get. But they have the game there with the sleeve, and the case is in okay condition. There's some like dings and stuff on it on the front there, but it's not that bad, and you know it's fully freaking complete, which is great. The disc is in good condition, so it's just really freaking. It is really surprising to find, you know, something like this with the sleeve and everything like that, you know, and it's the original sleeve that has the book on the front. And again, I was thinking about going on eBay because I really wanted the sleeve. GameStop freaking has it, and I think this one was a little bit more expensive at like $8, but still, $8 for a sleeve and everything in that good of a condition. Yeah, thank you. And then the last one is Bloodstone. This was the only James Bond game I didn't have in my collection, so I wanted this one. I actually did play this originally on the PS3 back when it came out, but wanted it on the 360, and I actually did like this game. I thought it was pretty. It was a fun, you know, action shoot 'em up. You know, it was a cool James Bond game. You know, I'm pretty sad because this generation we never got a James Bond game. Just one of many things I'm freaking annoyed about with this generation of gaming. We never got a James Bond game, and you know, I know the movies have been stuck in limbo for a very long time, and we're finally getting a new James Bond movie in a couple months, actually. So, but I wanted, I picked up Bloodstone here. This case is not closing. There we go. I picked up Bloodstone here for, what was it? I think this one was $5. So yeah, pretty cool to have this, and it's in good condition, and has the manual and everything like that. So pretty cool. So those are the games I picked up for my collection, and you know, my GameStop. I'm gonna go there next week to actually see if what else is there, but not for games. I am seriously considering trading in my Nintendo Switch, my original Nintendo Switch, and getting the Switch Lite. Now, why? I actually like the form factor of the Switch Lite more, and I know that you can't do things like plug it into the TV and dock it, and I know that the freaking, some of the games, like the stupid party games don't work for it, to be honest. But I don't care about that stuff, you know. I don't care about docking it on the TV. The Nintendo Switch is a portable console to me anyway. I never once docked my Nintendo Switch since I've opened it. And the dock is still in the original box. You know, I don't even have it hooked up at all. So it's like, for me, I just don't care about having like all those other features that I would be missing. I don't necessarily care about. And the reason I'm mentioning trading in my Switch is because, you know, GameStop will give me around, I think, $125 for the Nintendo Switch. Well, the GameStop that's closing has brand new Nintendo Switch Lites for $135. So essentially, I'd be paying an extra $10, and it'd be like an equal trade almost. You know, and you get better battery life, and I know the screen is smaller, but because of that, the resolution is the same. The pixel density is actually much tighter, and it actually looks a lot perceptibly sharper. So I might get the Nintendo Switch Lite, in which case I might do an unboxing video, but I might trade in my Nintendo Switch. I haven't decided on that fully, but I'm going to make a decision before the end of this week, and then next week I may or may not get that console. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, some pretty cool games for my collection there. And I'm almost done with my 7th gen collection. I think I have 22 more games left for my Xbox 360, and then I'm done. That's all the games I wanted to collect for the 7th generation of consoles, which I think the 360 collection would top out at just over 200 games, which is crazy. You know, it's absolutely crazy. So it's pretty cool, but we're going to segue into the 7th gen and go back to the 6th gen. Now, you guys know one of my best friends, Dean, over at Vinny Corleone 62, is it? We see each other every year. You know, he has family that you know, lives around where I live, and so he comes down every year, and then we usually hang out for dinner. And so this past year, we actually not only went to dinner, we went and saw Ford versus Ferrari, and so we exchanged gifts. He already did a video where he showed off what I got him, which was the James Bond collection, then Outer Worlds, and Sniper Elite 2, V2 Remaster. But he actually, you know, I've been sick. I haven't been able to show you guys what he got me. He got me something that is just like beyond. I was in complete shock over this, and I didn't ask for this, but this is really cool because I never had one of these before. So he gives me this box here, and I might gives me this box here, right? And I'm going to put this over here, just because there's a lot of expensive stuff in there, and I'll show you guys. And, you know, he's moving out of state, actually, so I guess he's trying to downsize a lot and whatnot, and he gave me one of his... Stuff's gonna fall. He gave me one of his original Xbox consoles. This is an original Xbox One, the true Xbox One. And it's just in gorgeous condition, man. I mean, I'm telling you right now, this thing looks brand new. There's barely any, like, scratches, if at all, on this thing. It's just, like, in beautiful, absolute condition. And what's really cool is this is modded. So, I think he says there's a couple 100-gigabyte hard drive, and some big hard drive in there, but it's modded to the point where you can actually put the disc in, and I guess it rips the game from the disc and puts it on the hard drive, so that you could play the game without having a disc in the console. So I never owned an original Xbox before. I never owned a modded console before. But I'm going to do a separate video on this later. And so he gave me this what is essentially a brand new Xbox. I mean, the thing just looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking through the vents here. No dust. You have all this shiny metal, which is just like in beautiful condition. You know, and I only owned a PS2 during the 6th generation. Never had a GameCube, never had an Xbox, and so it's really cool to actually have this. And so he gave me, you know, the Xbox, and then he gave me, you know, the controller for it. This is, I guess they redesigned the original Xbox controller from the big, I'm used to seeing the big fat, like, spaceship design. This is a more traditional game controller design. So he gave me one of these, and then he also gave me again, Doom 3, the collector's edition, and it's pretty cool. This thing has a nice sleeve. You slip off, it's this beautiful steel book, and you know, everything's just pretty freaking cool in this. You know, there's the game and the manual, just really awesome. You know, and everything's just in absolutely beautiful condition. And so I'm gonna make a separate video on this. I actually went out and bought. One of my favorite games from my childhood, and that was Enter the Matrix. I remember playing this game like crazy on the PS2, so I went out and bought an original Xbox copy, and it is fully complete and everything like that. And so I also am thinking about getting black as well. So I'm gonna get a few games for the Xbox now, which is great because, you know, as I'm now winding down my collection with the 7th generation of consoles, now I can sort of start up a collection on the 6th generation of consoles. And sure, this stuff is going to get more expensive over time. There's a store that's actually not that far from me that actually has a whole collection of all these used, you know, great games. And so that's where I actually got Enter the Matrix from. And they have, you know, not just original Xbox games. They also have, like, games going all the way back to, like, Genesis, the N64, you know, the Super Nintendo. They have all these games there. It's pretty crazy. So I'm so ecstatic about getting that Xbox. And then that wasn't all as well. Now, he showed this off in a previous video. I'm actually gonna have to move my camera to actually show you guys. It's on the wall here. But he gave me, you know, part of what he does as an artist is he takes these I guess they're big pieces of wood, and he basically cuts them out and creates, well, cars. You know, that's part of what he does. But he created one for Call of Duty World at War, which is really freaking cool. And I remember him showing this off in a previous video of his. But you know, I was really surprised when he handed it to me. I guess he doesn't have the space for it, or you know, he just it's really cool. You know, I'm really happy to finally, you know, to have that, and to, you know, it matches perfectly with my whole room design and everything like that. It just looks great. It's also pretty cool because that side of the wall was completely empty. I didn't have anything there, so it's actually pretty nice to actually finally have some artwork on the wall, which is great. And you know, it's for a kick-ass game, man. Where the fuck is it? There it is. It's for a kick-ass game. So I'm really thankful that you know, just for everything. You know, the original Xbox is like more than enough, but to actually have that I don't know what you would call it. That cutout, I'm just gonna call it, is pretty freaking cool, and it just looks awesome. It's like it's floating against the wall there. It's really cool. So, thank you, Dean. Once again, the gifts were just fantastic. Like I said, I'm gonna do a separate video just on the Xbox. Because it's gonna be pretty cool to actually go back and play some of those older games. I haven't played like a 6th gen game in like over 10 years at this point, you know, so it's gonna be absolutely incredible to play with these these old games, and some of them with the archaic controls. But hopefully it'll be a fun video, so we'll watch out for that in the coming weeks. So I think that about sums it up about what I wanted to discuss here. I'll talk about, you know, this year in terms of I guess in terms of games coming out and the new consoles and whatnot, as well as my plans for YouTube. You know, YouTube started recommending me some of my older videos, and it's interesting. Like, one's from like 2009, right? 2010. I only owned a PS3 at that time, but I was watching those videos, man, and I kind of started getting a little bit sad. It brought me back to a time, you know, when I started doing YouTube, I was 14 years old. Or when I started this channel, I was 14 years old. I had an original channel before this. It was called Game Boy, and I was basically doing just, you know, cheap videos here and there, kind of the same thing, but just not as often. So really, I started YouTube when I was 12, like 12 or 13 years old. And so I closed that channel down, and I started this one, you know, and I'm still making videos on this channel. But, you know, I was watching those older videos, man, and it just brought me back to a time, you know, where I was a kid, and it was just like fun to work on YouTube, and I would upload 12 videos a day. You know, well, not a day, but I would upload like 12 videos in a single day, you know, and I was doing videos like playthroughs, and I was doing multiplayer gameplay. It was just me having fun with games. You know, it was me having fun with games. And, you know, I've made so many apology videos on this channel about, guys, I'm sorry, I can't focus more on YouTube right now. I have a job, I have work, you know, I got school, you know, I got stuff to do, you know, it sucks, you know, I feel very discouraged because I feel like I've let you guys down, and I also feel like just generally people stopped caring, and so, you know, I'm just sort of speaking out loud right now. I'm not trying to you know, say anything in particular, but it just kind of made me sad because that was a time where it's like, you know, I had all this time to do videos, and I would just upload cool videos of like me playing a video game, and the game didn't even have to be any good, but it was just, you know, fun because it was just me just playing through and experiencing the game, you know. And I know some of you guys have watched my videos over the course of a few years, and you've seen me, you remember back at that time when I was doing that stuff. You know, and I've seen friends that have come and go on this platform, you know, and groups, entire groups of people just disappearing, you know. And I'm glad that YouTube to me is not a job, because if it was, I probably would have quit a long time ago. I'm glad it's a passion of mine, and, you know, I still, it just sucks because I really do love doing these videos for you guys, and I know that whether or not I'm good at them is not really the point. It's just engaging, and it's fun for me, you know. But, you know, I was watching those videos, and it just brought me back to simpler times, and I just realized I'm just never gonna have that back, you know. I'm never gonna have the time to really invest like I did before. And I'm never gonna have that innocence back, that you know, that recapturing those kid moments. It's like it's all been spoiled by my knowledge of technology. It's been spoiled by my responsibilities as an adult. You know, it's different. It's never gonna be what it was. You know. And I guess that's just something that you have to accept as you get older, is just, you know, things are going to change. Life is going to change. You're going to think about things differently. You're going to do things differently. And, you know, you're never going to have the time. Well, you know, you may, or your time is going to be much more precious and much more valuable. And so, you know, I feel bad because it's like I want to do so much more, and I want everyone to be super excited, and I want everyone to enjoy the content, and I want things to be back how they once were, where I had time and I could just upload videos of shit. You know, I could upload videos of one of the videos I was watching was Call of Juarez the Cartel multiplayer videos. And I did like 4 videos on that, and the multiplayer is like completely terrible, right? It's cool, its premise, but you know, you're looking at it and people are lagging all over the place. But I'm watching that video, I'm like, oh, this is fun, you know. this brings me back to, again, a simpler time, and this is fun, you know, where the quality kind of sucks, you know, but I'm just sitting there killing people online, and then it's just you know, people are cussing at you over the microphone, and it's just like, man, you know, that those were really good times, you know, and it just sucks. I'm not trying to make a point, you know, by saying any of this at all, but it's just something that I miss, and I don't want to say I'm sorry again, right? Because I know you guys understand, and I know you guys are very, you know, supportive and appreciative, and I really do appreciate that about my fan base. You know, whenever I make those videos, everyone's just like, take your time, you know, enjoy yourself. We completely understand, and I love that. It really does make a big difference. Yeah, but it just, I want to get back to like cool just gameplay here and there, and I just want to recapture that magic, but I don't know if that magic even exists anymore. And so, you know, yeah, you know, it's interesting. I want to focus a little bit more on YouTube this year. I've been putting it off for 2 years now, and even though I progressed a lot in my life, I'm still not done progressing, and there's still stuff that I'm working towards. But I feel like I could do more with vlogs. I feel like I could do more than just the stupid, you know, gameplay discussion videos that I've been uploading throughout the course of 2018. That was all I did last year. All I did last year was just upload, you know, videos with some gameplay, and then I talked about some shit. My camera battery actually died there, so so sorry about that. But basically, what I was getting to was just that, you know, I just really, I wish I could go back to that time, you know, and that's not possible anymore, and I recognize that that's not possible. It doesn't mean that we still can't have fun now, you know. I need to find, I just feel like I need to recapture that magic, you know. Not that it's lost, or not that I don't enjoy doing this, of course not. You know, I love doing YouTube, and I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm very appreciative of every single one of you. It's just that I feel like with my schedule, so, you know, it's like my whole mind's focused on getting to where I want to be, getting to where I want to be, getting to where I want to be, and it sucks because I feel like I've neglected you guys. And I don't want you guys to feel neglected, and I don't want you to feel like, you know, underappreciated, and I just, you know, I want you guys to be excited about content coming forward, and really look forward to the stuff that I'm working on. And so it's just stuff that it's something that I have to figure out. It's something that I have to work towards, and something that, you know, I really need just to focus some more on. So I just want to let you guys know that, you know, it's just something that's come to my mind, and YouTube wasn't helping recommending me my older videos. Those were, you know, it's really weird. I typically don't watch my videos at all, you know, but some of those older ones, it captures a time, it captures an era, and now that we're ending another era with the 9th generation of consoles on the horizon, it's going to be interesting to look back on this generation and everything that we got to play and experience during this time. How is that going to change, and what type of new things are we going to be going into? You know, I'm looking forward to next gen. I'm super excited. I am going to be doing videos, of course, on, you know, the PlayStation 5 and the Series X and things like that. So I do plan to do some more vlogs this year. I do plan to do a little bit more gameplay videos. Not so much gameplay discussions, but just sort of, you know, live commentary gameplay. I think that would be fun to sort of get back into the swing of that. Like I said, you know, I'm playing games like The Outer Worlds. or I'm going to be starting the games like Outer Worlds, and I'm playing Metro Exodus right now. So, you know, maybe I should do some gameplay on that, and just sort of live commentary and just, you know, reasons why I like the game, or different opinions on, you know, games and you know, stuff like that, instead of rather doing the gameplay discussion videos, which I think, you know, can still serve a purpose. It's not like those are going to go away, but, you know, I feel like if I can get back to like the core gameplay and the core live commentary, that would be much more engaging for you guys personally. So you're gonna have to let me know. Alright, but this video has gone on long enough. I have shown you guys and talked a lot of things and talked about a lot of things, and so it's my computer. And so I'm gonna go and edit this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have a positive year upcoming, and just, you know, really set some good goals for yourself. You know, let me know things that you're working on, and, you know, different games that you're playing, and you know, just stuff that you're excited about. You know, let's just let's have a good conversation. Let's play some good games, and let's get excited for the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, or whatever the other Xbox is going to be called if they release that. So, all right, have a good one, guys, and I will talk with you all later.